Lottie.
And I'm Mark.
And this is
Showtime Shenanigans.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
We're very excited, apparently.
We are very excited. Why does this go so British?
I'm not really sure. So basically, today we are very excited because we have a guest. The brilliant, the wonderful JJ Niemann. Ta-da!
You will know him for things like TikTok mostly because he is incredible on there. If you haven't heard of him, go check him out.
Yeah.
If you're here because of him, hello.
Hi guys. He did Ratatouille the musical last year. Obviously during lockdown, that was a thing.
Yeah.
He is also currently, but previously did Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
So he's currently a swing in Book of Mormon. A vacation swing.
Yes.
So yeah.
And also he is just
an icon.
And he's in lots of workshops at the moment doing stuff.
Yeah, loads of workshops.
So if you see him, if you follow him on socials and he's doing a workshop, go check.
Yeah, go see him. He what was I gonna say? Yes, the TikToks that he does are obviously very musical theatre themed. He does ones where it's like mic on versus mic off, or on stage versus off stage, like what Broadway performers do, and like have a laugh and all that. And they're just great. They're good fun. So yeah.
Without further ado, JJ.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. Good. Cracking.
Song word of the day.
Cracking. Yes. Okay. Cool. Let's just get straight into it.
Yeah.
Would you like to
so I'll ask
the
the first question. What was your experience like at drama school?
Ooh, yeah, I had a good time. I had a cracking time, you could say. I went to school. Our universities are 4 years, most of our programs. And I went to this school called Elon University that's in North Carolina. At the time when I got in, I didn't realize, like, the caliber of school it was.
Yeah.
But I quickly learned when I got there and I was like, oh crap. Like I'm very in over my head a little bit because I really didn't know what I was doing, but that's okay. That's why you go to school. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, my training was really awesome. I had a really good time and they were really good about like bringing in guest artists. We did a lot of shows every year. So from like freshman year, you were able to be in the main stage shows. And yeah, it was really great. I attribute a lot of my like dance technique and my acting technique. I'd never taken an acting class before in my life, so I took the majority of those there. And like my singing, you know, all of those kinds of things. Like it makes you more flexible, it expands your range and improves your like abilities in every way. So I really did feel like the impact of that. Some students I feel like going into college at like 18 might have already gone to like performing arts high schools or like a bunch of intensives and they like know what they're doing. But I definitely needed it like a lot.
Yeah, I feel like it's quite different in the UK to like American drama schools. I mean, I didn't go to drama school. I'm just saying, I feel okay. Like they're quite different. Well, you do 3 years for one over here, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think the big, like, I think you do shows every year, but, like, the big one is the third year show where, like, agents come and watch and try and, you know, pick out people and that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's the same over there, but, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, like showcase type things.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, what shows did you do? If you did quite a lot, obviously.
Oh, yeah. So my first year, well... I'm not a Shakespeare girly, but I got cast in a Shakespeare show the first year because we also have to audition for all the plays too. Yeah. So there's 3 musicals and 3 plays a year that are main stage shows. So I did Much Ado About Nothing my freshman year.
Nice.
My sophomore year, I did In the Heights, but we're not going to talk about it because inappropriate casting. I mean, most of the casting in the show was appropriate, but they were definitely sprinkling in the white people, so we called it In the Whites. And then my junior year, I did Oklahoma, and I also did like a spoken word. Do you know like the Tina Turner musical?
Yeah.
So the guy was nominated for the lead, like playing Ike Turner here in the U.S., he was a fellow Elon grad from a little while back, and he came back to campus and did a whole like spoken word like intensive, and we all wrote like an original like 1.5 hour show. It was really beautiful.
Wow.
So I did that. That was technically like part of, you know, the main stage series. And then my senior year, we did a ton of shows, or I got cast in a lot of shows. I was in, oh my God, what did I do? Oh, I was Frankie Epson Parade in the fall, and then was Rock of Ages. Sorry, I was in Drew in Rock of Ages. That was in the winter. And then I was Mr. Mistopheles in Cats in the winter. And then I was Lori in Little Women in the spring.
Oh, wow.
So senior year was good.
Yeah, that was busy. Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite a broad range of roles as well.
Definitely.
To go from
I mean, it helps.
Cats.
Yeah,
Cats.
I mean, it helps having all the experience and then like learning different things and getting used to like so many different characters and figuring
And
out
like
where you sit.
college is one of the only times that like people are going to be playing roles they're like not necessarily right for, because in the real world, like if you don't look like a 40-year-old mom, you're not going to play a 40-year-old mom, you know, like, but like in college you will.
Yeah.
And so like in the world you have to wait for those kinds of roles, but it's fun in college. You get to play some of those juicy things.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that.
I mean, it's great to like hear people like do their own little funny things when they're like at college, and you're like, I wish the world could be like that still, and just see like some random person go on for like
some,
a
like,
mum, and
teenager.
you're just like,
Yes.
Sure.
That would
Oh
be
my
great.
God, that would be funny.
I think maybe that's why they created, I don't know if you know it, Bugsy Malone? Have you heard of it?
No.
It's like, I don't know if it was a show first or it was a film, but in the film, it's like kids playing adults, and they're like, it's all like 1920s gangsters with guns, but instead of bullets, it shoots like cream. And it's like, obviously, because it's kids. But I don't know, maybe that's why they did that, just for like giggles. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's
but
so fun.
yeah,
I love that.
I recommend watching it. It's a good film.
and it is a musical as well. Cause it's
Well, yeah,
iconic.
obviously it's got music in it.
Okay, cool.
It's great. Okay, how is it just in general living in New York? Because that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I mean, right now it's like we're in the gloomy doldrums of January. I don't know if y'all can relate over there, but
Yeah.
yeah, like, and I live alone now in a cutie little studio, but so like it can be, I don't know, like the winter's like a little weird. But in terms of like Broadway and theater coming back and stuff, obviously it's been a little shaky with like the variant, and shows are closing left and right, but then like reopening a week or two later. It's just really weird. I'm thankful, like I'm back in Book of Mormon like as a vacation swing because they need people, you know? So like I'm kind of on call for them, which is fun because I didn't know if I would ever be back doing the show again. And it's kind of a perfect storm for that. But essentially, yeah, I mean, it's very much just like a little wild here in New York. I think everyone's like just trying to be safe, and everyone's, trying to get tested before everything and trying to feel it out. But I really do think like New York, I think the cities get a bad rep because people see the surges and the spikes and they're like, oh my God, like New York City's a mess. But like New York City at least like really takes things seriously, and honestly is one of the safest places you can be. Yes, things are very easily transmissible here. So in that sense, no, but they actually take action and like act on it versus a lot of other cities like don't. And a lot of other states are just like, whatever, it'll go away, And so I'm at least thankful that like New York City, like makes a point to like do stuff, but I am happy that we're not shutting everything down again, because I don't think Broadway, like we can't survive that again. Like I want my friends, and like we need to be working and like obviously as safe as possible. And if you need to shut a show down for a week or two to like, reduce the transmission and stuff, absolutely. But I like can't imagine doing another shutdown again, like fully. That would be crazy.
Not a complete shutdown. I mean, it doesn't make sense anyway. Well, it does, but like it doesn't make sense in like, because it can close for a week if there's cases in the cast and obviously they can't do the show. But then why not just reopen afterwards? Like there's no point in shutting completely.
Right. If people are still gonna get tickets and come see it and see it safely, then
Absolutely.
And it's been quite a wild ride working front of house on like a lot. Well, I work front of house at Evan Hansen.
Oh my gosh!
So it's been because in London as well, we've closed down recently because of COVID.
Yeah, there's been loads of shutdowns.
And like loads of shows were like closed in with like 2 weeks, and it was quite the mad time. Like people that were still working were like getting sent to other theatres and working front of house there. It was a wild, couple of weeks.
What shows did you do? What did you move to? You've done loads.
I mean, yeah, I've done like Hamilton, I've done Les Mis, I've done Life of Pi, just in the last like couple of weeks, just because shows have been closed. So, and going to Book of Mormon maybe this Friday.
Are you?
Yeah,
oh, that's
maybe.
Exciting.
Yay! Do you get to like see all the shows too when you are doing front of house?
Yeah, you get to sit in. It's great.
Yeah,
it's so
I mean,
good.
usually I'm on bar, so it's fine.
Well,
but on the good days where I get to see the show, I'm just sat there like, definitely doing my job, definitely
Totally
watching the audience, definitely watching the show, just like...
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, no, front of
That's
house
awesome.
is a good job if you like theatre, because especially like because we before the lockdown we worked both worked at Les Mis, and it's great because you just can sit there and watch the audience, watch the show, and you pick up on different things every day. You're like, oh, and also if an understudy's on or a swing or whatever, you see how they do it, and it's just you really like appreciate theatre more when you work in it, I would say.
Yeah.
Either front of house or as an actor.
And I think I appreciate actors as well because they do it every day and they do it to the highest level they possibly can. And you're just when you sat there in the audience on that one night, you're like amazing. When you see it every night, you're like, wow, how are you doing that?
Yeah, like the consistency is wild.
Yeah. I mean, the next question we were going to ask was how is it being back in Mormon? So so it's kind of weird right now. It's the perfect thing for me. I think it's funny because I posted I was back in Book of Mormon and like I'm vacation swinging, and all of these people were like not attacking the show, but like so many of like my followers were like, how dare they like have you on the posters but not have you like full time in the show? And I was like, boo boo, it's not like that. It's not like that because I was offered to come back and I chose not to full time because I want to work on other projects and I'm doing a bunch of different development things. And I also just want to have freedom and flexibility. I'm doing like my whole like social media career now too. So I want to be able to go to events and stuff, and being in the 8-show week every single week schedule for me right now, doing a show I already did that for 2.5 years for doesn't seem like the best. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So it's kind of the perfect thing because like, they called me up and I started rehearsal like the next day, which is similar to how I joined the show back in 2017. That was like an experience where like I auditioned for the show and found out the next day, like, hey, you start music rehearsals today at 3 p.m. I was like, okay, work.
Great, good job. I had no plan.
Sometimes it's just like that. My friend is going in for Hadestown tomorrow and she was like, yeah, I'll start on Tuesday if I get it. I was like, why is theater like this? Why can't they plan?
It's mad. They literally can't. It's like 2 days before they're like, by the way, we're doing like an 8-show week next week, or like a 9-show week next week or something, because it's just
that's what we had recently in like before we had our close down. We had because our Christmas schedule was bonkers. We had like a 9-show week and we had understudies on every day. It was a lovely week to see everyone's talent and do everything.
But
it was an absolute bonkers week because we were like we didn't realize it was happening, and they're like, here's 9 shows but we just do 7, and I'm like, okay.
At the moment you're doing 7, aren't you?
So we all died that week, but it's fine.
They just can't
theaters. It's just like crazy, and like definitely with the variant and stuff, it's like expediting everything and making things like, okay, we need someone now. Who can we fly in from tour? But yeah, I mean, it was nice coming in for Mormon, and like I got to like have 2 weeks and like relearn everything. I was really impressed, honestly, with myself because it had been 2 years. And I was like, oh my God, I remember everything. Like my body just remembered all of the choreography, and the dance captain was obviously very happy because that makes his job a lot easier. I had all my old notes. So there were changes though, because when the show reopened, they changed things. So I had to kind of like, I redid all my notes a little bit, and also with all the new names of all the new cast members that are in the show, and all of that, did all my costume fittings and stuff. So I'm kind of waiting right now to like be called in for when they actually need me. They have called in some vacation swings, but I don't think they've needed like Mormon boy vacation swings in the past like month or two since I've learned it. So, but I'm sure that will happen, obviously. And then the longer the show is running, and it's selling very well, which is awesome. Yeah, I was nervous about the show earlier, like before COVID and everything. I was like, how much longer does this have? But it's like selling out like every night still. So definitely, I mean, the longer it goes, people will actually be taking vacations, and it won't necessarily just be like me on call because of COVID. So that'll be nice that like I'll be able to pop in whenever I'm not doing like workshops and other things.
Yeah, people will actually be able to go on holiday again. How exciting!
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah, I'm going to New York next year, so... Oh, no, this year. Oh, my God, it's 2022.
When?
This year. The 29th of April to the 6th of May, yeah. So...
Fun! Okay, well, I'll be here as of now, so...
Brilliant. I'll call you up.
And I heard you're coming as well to London as well.
Yes, you're coming here.
We're in the works of making some things happen. Definitely gonna line up a few like classes type things, like dance classes and master classes, and then I think a concert somewhere. So that'll be really fun. Right. I was like shocked at how many responses I got. I was like, the UK is awesome. I was like, I'm so excited. Like everyone's so nice.
Oh, we're here for a bit of fun, and we're all here for a bit of theatre as well. Yeah. So anytime someone's like, "Let's do it," I'm like, "Yes, give us more."
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you're pretty big over here, I would say, in terms of because you are on the poster. Obviously, you're everywhere.
Literally,
like
you're on the side of you're literally on the side of my theatre I work at. Your face is literally next to my theatre, and I'm like.
And you're
hi.
and on the tube as well, like you're going down the escalator, and on the tube we have the posters all going down, and you're always there.
That's so wild, my little spread eagle.
Yeah, literally.
Out for the world.
Or actually, I see you on the bus. You're being like spread across the whole bus, being like, "We can't wait to have you back." And it's been incredible.
It's so wild.
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah,
I would love if they could figure out a work visa, baby, like I would love to come over and do the show there for like a few months.
Yeah,
they definitely don't have a shortage of white Twinkie looking boys in the UK. So like they don't need me, but babes, let's go.
If they want me, I'm here for it. You know, it's fine.
Right.
Oh my God, imagine. That'd be so good. But I can't wait for you to come over and then we can see you at a gig. That'd be great.
Yeah. We'll be there.
We'll be there front row, don't you worry. Is it your turn?
Yeah, so what gave you the idea for your like mic off, mic on TikTok thing? Because it's the best thing ever, but like how did that come about?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I honestly, speaking of, I need to make some more of those. I definitely like stopped a little bit just because life started up again. And those take time versus some of the other TikToks I can make like that are just a little like short and sweet. But yeah, I didn't set out to make that like a series. I remember one day I was randomly just thinking about the show Waitress and about how the ensemble just literally sits in booths the whole show. I was like, this ensemble is chilling. They are sitting in booths, eating fake pie, and what do they talk about for like 5 minutes at a time? And I was like, you know what? It's probably similar to Book of Mormon. Like, we don't really have a lot of time on stage at all where our mics are off to talk. But when we do, we find a way to be like, oh my God, look at 212. Like, look how funny they are. Like, I don't know, like people in the audience. We're big on that at my show. But in Book of Mormon, in Waitress, I'm like, they can have full conversations. So the first video I ever made was doing Waitress and like being at the pie shop and like being in character and then being out of character and being like, oh my God, so like, what's up? Like, oh, do you see that person in the audience? Like, so, and people just loved it and were fascinated by it. And so I started just making one for every show. And I started with some more like long running or like more like popular shows, and then I started going into more like newer shows. Like I did one for Six. I mean, that is a very popular show, but newer meaning like maybe a lot of people didn't get the chance to see it yet and things like that. So it was my favorite part of those experiences though, is having people in the casts share them on Instagram and stuff and be like, how did you know? Like, that's like the whole cast of Mean Girls had like a group chat with me or were like privately messaging me. And they were like, how did you know that during this quick change, we always did this? Like, we literally did this all the time. And it was sweet for a lot of casts who like, it was nostalgic. And during COVID, everything was shut down. So it was like, people were like, oh my God, like this reminds me why I love this. And then also for anybody who's ever been in any form of a show, like whether it's like community theater at your school, like you can still relate to things like aspects of that, even if you've never been on Broadway, because it's really just the same. Like it's just like grown up theater nerds and goofballs. So I think it was cool for people to see like, oh, actors on Broadway are able to do their job seriously, but also like will screw around and like this is what they do like when they're quick changing and backstage and stuff too.
It's good fun. It's all good fun, isn't it?
But yeah, I think now as well, you like now because you do these videos, sometimes you see it more. You like you look at people in the background, you're like, are they talking? I wonder what they're doing.
I love it.
I mean, especially if I'm sat in for a week watching the show, I'm sometimes looking at like the character in the back and I'm like, are you chatting? What could you possibly like?
What you're talking about?
Or like when they're doing like it's just fun now because I'm like, huh. I wonder what's going on in their heads as well. Cause, like,
What's the other one? The other one that you do is like where it's still like a mic on or mic off one, but it's like where you're just getting. I don't know. There was another one that you kind of do a lot. I can't remember what it is.
The one where it's like the actors in the wings like across from each other during ballads and stuff.
Was it.
And it's like what's going on stage versus like in the wings.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is I will get like comments from like, and you know what? It's probably like a sweet director who directs like second graders at their local elementary school. But they're like, please don't post this because now my students are gonna get ideas, or they're like, this is so unprofessional. Like, if you're not on Broadway and you don't do 8 shows a week, like, don't do this because you're probably gonna mess up the show. And I'm like, that's totally fair because I don't want to embolden people to goof around more because when you like are in Tech Week and opening a show and you only have 3 shows, like, you don't have time to like get comfortable with it yet. So like, you don't know for sure when your mic is off yet. You know, like for a week, it took me weeks in Book of Mormon until I was comfortable with like, people would be talking to me on stage and I was convinced my mic was on. And I was like, oh my God, they're talking to me. Or like we were singing in the wings, like offstage vocals for I Believe. And I would be like, and I was like, wait, I guess the mics really do get turned off like that. And they do. So, yeah.
I mean, you see it, it's quite funny in some shows where they turn it off too early or they don't put it on early enough. And they're like, they start singing along and they're like, so, and then like, boo, and it just like it turns on. You're like,
yes,
yeah,
you know,
which is also iconic as well when that happens. When you start talking and then the sound just comes on. You're like,
okay, that's embarrassing. Oh gosh.
Yeah, theatre is just one of the things that no matter when the things go wrong, it's always funny.
It's just great when things
like,
go wrong.
It's just the best part of theatre is theatre going wrong. As much as it's so great to see it go really well and then the actors to absolutely smash it. You're also like, I really want you to just do something a little bit stupid, just because it'll make me laugh. So, love this.
What is the next one?
One.
Well, staying on the topic of TikTok. What was it like being involved in Ratatouille, the TikTok musical?
Yeah, we just hit the 1-year anniversary, baby.
Yeah.
I think everyone kind of forgot that happened. However, in the pandemic, like that was like in the middle of like, we were like, when are we ever going to get out of this?
Yeah.
And the vaccine still wasn't even available. Like, it was really like in the thick of it. Yeah. No pun intended. TikTok sound. But I loved being a part of. I mean, it literally was like a flash. Like it was so chaotic. They literally asked us one day, and then we're like, "Hey, we're gonna have we're sending you the sheet music. Can you learn it all?" We had like a 1-hour Zoom rehearsal. When you're doing a music rehearsal on Zoom, baby, they can't plunk your notes. So like we were literally just like winging it. I was sight reading and then they had some plunk tracks, but I literally was recording my raw vocals into GarageBand and sending it to them. And I was like, I hope it sounds good. And then we had to film videos of us like lip syncing to ourselves. And then I was also in a dance ensemble. So it was like me and one girl, Joy, who I ended up working with this year in another show, which was really fun. Cool. That I like have gotten to like meet and work with some of the Ratatouille people in life now, after all of that. But we had like a 2-hour choreography rehearsal to learn all of the choreo. And then we just had to record like on our own. And it was so funny because I was recording them in sections like on TikTok on my phone using the clone filter and stuff. It was just like, I was like, what is this going to be? Like, this is going to be a mess. And then it aired and like, yes, it was a little crunchy here and there, but that was like part of the beauty of it. Like it was like a homemade like TikTok musical.
Yeah.
And it was I was like moved to tears and it was so sweet. My whole family watched it all together and it was just like really special to feel like I was a part of something again and like a part of theater. The music is so beautiful. I'm kind of sad nothing ever happened with it, but I think honestly the demand kind of just went away a little bit. Even though if they announced that they were doing it, I'm sure people will be like, "What?"
Yeah,
like,
people would definitely go.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, people would go. because it has name recognition now at this point. But yeah, I think like, I just think it was really special, and it was like a really bright light and like a reminder of like how beautiful like theater is, like in the middle of, you know,
and
sadness.
It was it for charity, or am I being silly?
Oh yeah, we raised like, I think, if not close to, we raised $3 million for the Actors Fund, which is insane. Like we sold like 200,000 to 300,000 tickets.
And I was one of those.
I was one too.
Crazy.
It was a great time watching it.
And you know, it's still out there. They still got it on YouTube. There's some Dropbox links, you know.
Might have to go watch later.
Sneaky little.
Yeah.
Have to go rewatch.
Oh, it was a good time. I remember watching it with me and my mum on the sofa, like in the thick of lockdown. Mum was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Mum, just sit down and watch and enjoy yourself," because it was just
so good.
Yeah.
Ugh, good times.
Well, back to the whole theatre world. What are some of your dream roles that you would love to do?
Ooh, dream roles. Well, I'm gonna say the cliche answer first, and I want to do original works, and, you know. But like, truly, like, I got my first taste of that recently. I've been doing a lot more like original works from the ground up, and like readings and workshops and stuff here in New York. And I got to like be a lead in one, and I was like, this is so dope. Like, I get to pick the key I'm singing in, and I get to pick, like, I get to say, like, change this line, and like, oh, can I do this instead? Like, I just have always wanted to do that, and there's something really beautiful about that, and I think most actors really, really, that's what we really want to be doing. And also, I love being in original works in the ensemble. I love the ensemble. I'm not someone who, I don't feel like I need to claw my way to do leads. When it happens, it happens. But I love being in the ensemble. I just think it's more fun. But in terms of dream roles, if I am free and I do it, I am supposed to play Jack Kelly in Newsies this summer, which was canceled. Ooh. I was supposed to do it 2 years ago, but it was canceled because of COVID in summer 2020. So that'll be really fun. And Newsies is a dream show. I've been cast in it 3 times and have never been able to do it all 3 times because of whatever reasons. So it's like the one that got away. So I'm excited to do that.
This year will be your year.
What'd you say?
It will be your year this year, won't it?
Oh, we're doing it. We're doing Newsies, babes. I'm going to try to book every production of Newsies, because I also want to dance in it. So I'm like, okay, like, let me book like a dance ensemble and then do Jack Kelly, you know, all of it. It'll be fun.
It's just such a good show.
Yeah, I need to watch. Yeah. Is it bad I haven't watched it?
Have you not?
I haven't watched the film.
You've had the whole of lockdown.
I actually haven't either, which is crazy. Because I mean, that was like my show when I saw it on Broadway. I was like, I'm going to do this. I was like, I want to do this for a living. Truly.
Oh, I've watched it at least 5 or 6 times on Disney, because I just love it. It's just when you're having proper theatre withdrawals, what you need is a good dancey, happy theatre show.
Like, I've listened to the music, I just haven't watched the film. There's 2, right? Well,
the actual proper film, and then there's
the film. The live. Have you never seen like the original?
No.
Oh my God. See, okay, my sisters and I like grew up on that. Like, my sisters literally were obsessed with the Newsies movie. So when they made it into a musical, I was like, oh my God. Like, but a lot of people were like, what's Newsies? So, yeah.
It's got a newspaper and dancing boys where they jump, and that's all I know.
Brill. You need to find out some more, but it's fine. It's fine.
I need to sort that out. Any more dream roles?
Well, I mean, honestly, I just love, like, my inspirations growing up were like Aaron Tveit and like Jeremy Jordan. Like, they were like tenor, like, icons. Yeah. So obviously, like, Gabe in Next to Normal is a dream role. Another one that got away. And like Frank in Catch Me If You Can. Just like those kinds of roles. I just love a good like tenor, like scrutty like role. Yeah. But also one I like really, really love roles that also like dance and move a lot too. So that's kind of why like Jack in Newsies, like he can dance as much or as little as you need him to. If he needs to scuttle off to the side, Jeremy Jordan did. But like trust that when I'm playing Jack Kelly, I'm gonna be dancing. I'm gonna be dancing.
Absolutely.
It's weird that the leader of the Newsies, it's as if like Riff didn't dance in West Side Story. Like, it's weird when the leader of the Newsies pack like doesn't lead them in dance too.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you need to be up there doing your kick jumps and, you know, giving it
everything. Toe touches for days.
Just giving it everything that you can. Like,
I can't tumble, but I'll do everything else.
Oh, well, we're really excited because Jeremy Jordan's coming over in a couple of weeks to the UK to do
Bonnie and Clyde.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But yeah. Are you thrilled?
I'm just happy to. Yeah, it's just I love theatre, so like can't get enough. So
and it's at Drury Lane, right?
Yeah, it's Drury Lane.
You know,
Jeremy Jordan.
She's a big theatre.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you bet we're sat right up in the gods, but we don't care.
It's fine. It's fine.
Right.
Oh, okay. Our last question is one that we ask everybody. And so the name of the podcast is Showtime Shenanigans. So have you had any Showtime shenanigans on stage, you know, where things have gone wrong or, something like that?
Oh, yeah, baby. Like, as a swing, you learn to roll with the punches. Yeah. Like you said, also, the audience loves when things go wrong, too, I think. Like, they love seeing, like, oh, my God, they're not robots. I'm not watching a movie. Like, this is human beings. There have been a few. Let me tell two, because one of them I've told... Oh, not a call. Spam. I've told one a lot, so I want to give you an original exclusive, you know? So the first one is... the one that I've told a lot, and it's in All American Prophet, where we're like in our prairie men and prairie women outfits. Yeah. And I love being a prairie woman. Oh my God, I love it. But babes, that costume with the bonnet and the hoop skirt and the corsetry of it all, like it is uncomfortable. Anyway, there's a lot of fabric there. So there's one point in the song where we all turn around and we're like frozen. And it's where, if you know the show, like, the whole monologue about Brigham Young and like Joseph Smith got shot and all that is happening. We're all frozen. And my dress, unbeknownst to me, gets caught on the horn of the cow head that's sticking out of the mud in the set. And so we then step to move forward and like dance forward like one by one, very slowly doing ooze with our mics on, and it's basically silence. And at that same time that we're moving forward, the cow head is on a track that's automated to move backward. So I literally go to step forward and I get yanked back and like I'm skittering back as everyone else is like moving forward in a formation. And I literally was like, shit. I don't know if I can curse on your podcast. You can believe that. But I literally was like, shit. And my mic was on, so it was on. And my castmate had to run over and like help unhook me from the cow horn. And then like we were supposed to do a lift. Didn't get up in the air. The whole rest of this song, I'm just like crying, laughing. I didn't sing a single note. And also in that number, all the villagers are on stage, just like on the sides watching. And they're all just watching this happen, like frozen, like mouths open. So anyway, that was iconic. And that was very fun and was like honestly one of the funniest like memories I have there. The other one is in Hell Dream and I almost said All American Hell Dream. Spooky Mormon Hell Dream. We're in, you know, we have a lot of us have quick changes into that song too. So I had a quick change into that, and you're underdressing your entire Mormon outfit underneath the devil outfit because you have to unzip and unsnap out of it, and you have basically 5 to 10 seconds to change out of it when the song ends and then get back on stage. So my zipper rips, and the zipper is like down like the whole entire body, so you can see my entire white shirt, black pants, tied, all the things. And so we just didn't have time, so I ran on stage and I was like started the number with like my whole costume open and like my claws on, but then like my whole costume open. And then when I was able to run off stage, one of the dressers like started safety pinning me in, and I was like, okay, perfect. Like you can't see. Didn't think about the fact that I have to quick change out of it. So anyway, I then like run back on stage, and there's a part where I had to get up on one of these platforms that's on a track. And of course, because I was already having a chaotic show, one of my claw feet, like lobster devil claw feet, knocked the platform off of its track. And I literally, while we're frozen on stage, I start literally rolling off stage off the track, and I'm trying to like shimmy it back on like myself. And so anyway, then I have to quick change out of it. And so obviously we're just ripping open the costume with the safety pins on it. And I missed the whole entrance, but I made it right in time for the button where I needed to of the end of the song and when I needed to be in my position. But like my like high school dance teacher that I grew up like dancing with, she was sitting in the front row center. She won the lottery. And I was like, did you see any of that? And she was like, no. I was like, okay, work. So to me, that was like chaos. But she didn't even see it.
The joys of it's annoying though, isn't it? Somewhat like I wish everyone knew what happened that night, but like I'm just there like being like I've got this together, but it's fine.
Yeah, my favorite thing in like the Book of Mormon cast is that like no one will ever let you like get like nothing ever happens without someone seeing, and people will be like, oh, or like people like me being frozen and rolling off. Everyone's just like,
someone will realize.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't go amiss between the cast.
Such a mess.
Good times. Well, that's it. That's all we have.
Amazing.
So what a good way to end it on that. Thank you very much for joining us. It's always fun to have someone from Broadway as well, because it's a totally different thing to the West End almost.
Yeah. And it's nice to hear that all theatre is the same chaos as everywhere.
Yes.
Oh my God, truly.
We love
truly.
The chaos. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching our interview with JJ. I hope you enjoyed it so much. We definitely enjoyed talking to him.
He's so much fun.
We
I'm not going to lie to you. After this episode finished, we carried on talking to him for like half an hour.
He's an
we were having a great time.
He's an absolute joy to interview, and
we need to meet him now.
Just need to hang out with him because he seems like an icon.
Yeah.
We love him.
Well, he is an icon, but seems like he's
like a great person, and we love great people.
Yeah, we love great people. Yes, do please subscribe to see more interviews.
Yeah.
Can't speak. And go back and watch our previous interviews. We have now done quite a few. Yes, or listen, subscribe, follow, all the things. We've done, if I get this right, we've interviewed Georgina Castle, we've interviewed Jodie Steele, Grace Mowat, Callum Heinrich, Blake, Blake Allen, that's it. I was going to say Anderson, I'm not quite sure why.
No.
And David Loud. Is that it?
And now JJ. So we had 3 people from America as well, which is very exciting. I know.
Didn't think that was going to happen. I was like wasn't expecting anyone to reply to my DM, to be honest. And now we've had 3 people from Broadway as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And some big people in the West End. Living our best lives, guys.
Thank you so much for people that are still with us. Thank you for people that have now found us.
We are on season 3, everybody.
I know. And have a great day with whatever you're doing, and we will see you very soon with another podcast and more voice breaks to go round.
Oh, okay.
I've had one of those in little years. That was fun.
Mark's turned back into a 12-year-old boy. Okay, bye.
Bye.